youth unemployment, and how we're going to fight against crime, and so on and so on. Thank you.
Thanks for the time. Okay. Yeah, njengoba ngishilo ke indzaba ye-youth unemployment iyaqhubeka. A lot of people are looking to hear the Premier address youth unemployment. All right, the festivities are continuing, and I am also still here looking at what is happening, looking at the people that are coming through, and looking to hear from them what it is that they are expecting to hear from the Premier today. And it's different opinions really on the red carpet, so I'm just going to make sure that I try to get hold of most of them, and yeah, kunjalo. I'll try also and get hold of people from the opposition. Singephi mhlambe labo labajabulile kuphela sibe ukuthi bakhona yini mhlambe labangakaphatheki kahle noma bakhona mhlambe labanetikhalo thizeni and all of that. So yeah, ma'am, how are you? All right, I'll continue to talk to you and talk you through Captain njengoba basehla. The Premier did say, though, one thing that is most important about this address is that she did mention the fact that Mpumalanga is a province that is still developing, and the address today will show to what extent the development has been going. So stop labanye bantu bayayivuma leyo ndzaba nobe cha. All right, how are you? I am good. Looking dazzling. Can you tell me what it is that you are hoping to hear the Premier address today?
Well, I think it's just two things for me. One, to take stock on what the government of Mpumalanga has done, but also any opportunities of particular employment.
Thank you so much for your time. And they continue to come through. not everybody is going to be up for the interview, but we'll continue fishing for them because we are looking for those opinions and we are looking to hear what people are expecting today. So yeah, in the meantime though, we'll continue to have a look at the festivities that are happening behind me and also looks that are going on behind me. Thank you.
No, I'm fine, and you? From Premier, I expect the Premier to address in the question of job creation, how this government is going to build the economy of the province, how this province is going to enhance service delivery here in the province. We know that we prioritize education. Human development is key in our development. So we know that the Premier today will also address the issue of education. How are we going to assist our kids to develop academically? So those are some of the things that I'm expecting from the Premier.
All right, thank you so for your time, and you look good once again. All right, continue to stay with me. Like I said before, that one thing that I have noted that most people are talking about is the fact of job creation, youth unemployment, and so on. And which is good thing. The Premier is going to address issues that affect them as well. So, I will try and grab a person or two people as I am two beautiful ladies me, and this lady create the introduction, and no one between the two of them is introduction. It is very lovely to see you guys here today. Ninjani.
Sephila njani mama nathi kuhle embombela ngiyabona bosisi baphumile bahle ngendlela lemangalisako nathi Stella ulalela ukuthi ngabe indvunankulu usitheleni nama.
Speaking, do you have anything in particular that you would really hope that the Premier touched on?
I think creation, youth men. I think most people sit at home with no job. I want to see more of young people getting into spaces. That for me will be number one, just to cut off the high number of women.
Do you feel like the government has done enough? Because just and they're not going out there to try opportunities. Do you think opportunities?
I think sometimes you also need to create your own door and opportunity to fill up whatever you want. You can use your degree to start up the business that your degree entails. So sometimes it's fill up I cannot say aweko because kunebantu labasebenzako.
Yeah. Congratulations for joining me once again. Right, we continue to talk to the who's that are walking down the red carpet and find out from them what it is that they're expecting the Premier addresses. Uvileke kulabanye bantu labasha who are in the creative space. One is a musician and another is a media personality. And according to them, in terms of job creation for young people. So we are hoping that the Premier is going to touch on that, which is something that most people have touched on, mentioning the fact that inkulu indzaba yekuswelakala kwemisebenzi for bantu labasha eMpumalanga is what we're on the look for. Another thing that's interesting that I heard people talk about is the fact of e-crime and the rate that it is at. So that's another thing that we're on the lookout for. Njengoba baqhubeka behla ku red carpet stove ukuthi tikhona yini letinye tinvo that people are hoping that the Premier touches on. But for me, what I've noticed so far, job creation for young people and also crime in the province. That's like the main thing that most people are on the lookout for. So yeah, we continue to grab whoever is to be willing to come and join me on the red carpet and find out from them what they are expecting to see today. I'm going to try, okay, and reach out my hand. And yeah, we do continue. Just like I said, what is important though to note is that my festivities sort of behind me, a lot are waiting in anticipation, which is a good thing to see that state of the province exactly is it that the Premier has been able to achieve during the course of the year, and yini mhlambe going forward, are they looking to achieve, if at all, that will be the case? Utawubonakala ke masekufika that cards dokuthi sekuyavotwa and whatnot, but kwanyalo sitobe silinzele kuva leka siphathele kona namuhla asengakafiki ke to fish for different opinions on the red carpet, different expectations also from people that are going to be walking down the red carpet. All right, as I continue and have a look around.
Siyathokoza ke silochise bonke abantu kuphina kuphi lapho basilandela bakhona ku Facebook page yeMpumalanga Africa eku-DSTV. Siyathokoza abantwana bakwethu, siyanamukela ukusukela eMpumalanga Provincial Legislature semacabazini wesibethamthetho lapho kuzabe kwenzeka khona izinto. Namhlanje lilanga lokthoma enyangeni kaMarch ku-2024 kulapho ke sizokufumana khona ikulumo yobunjalo besitshaba yobunjalo besifunda ezokuvela kundunankulu wesifunda seMpumalanga. Ngikhuluma ngobma uPremier uRefilwe Mtshweni-Tsipane. Kanti ke njenganje it's a build up towards the state of the province address sangalesi sikhathi. Ngiyathokoza ngingumathutha wakwamasimula, ngiyanamukela ukusukela la endlini zesibethamthetho. Welcome to this special broadcast. We welcome everybody, especially in the Mpumalanga province and South Africa at large. Thank you very much. Good morning and welcome. Langihlezi khona ke ngihlezi noSibebe, the chief whip of the majority party in the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature, ubaba uFidel Ngwakwamlombo. Sizokhe sicoce sinaye asithathe asibeke ubaba uMlombo njengo chief whip ukuthi mhlambe baqale ini bona njengabantu abasebenza kusibethamthetho who are holding the executive accountable, ngoba iSOPA kulakuthulwa khona inqubekela phambili ukuthi kwenzekeni eminyakeni odlulileko kuzokwenzekani eminyakeni ozokulandela wemali. Baba uMlombo siyakwamukela Chief Whip ku special broadcast sethu.
Ngiyabonga Mr. Masutha, ngibulise ngiphinde ngibulise nabo bonke abalaleli bale station.
Siyathokoza Chief Whip. Siyathokoza Chief Whip, asiqhubeke siye phambili sibone ukuthi kwenzakalani. Chief Whip, mhlambe ungakhe usibekele ukuthi nina njengamalunga wesibethamthetho so far yini mhlambe eniqalileko ukuthi kungenzeka ukuya phambili? Are you happy with what has happened and then ukuya phambili nibukeni?
Yebo umsakazi sijabule kakhulu ngalokho kwenzekile. Amalungiselelo wonke ale State of the Province Address ngendlela ahambe ngayo kuze kube namhlanje siyitholile i-briefing kusomlomo ku-speaker usomlomo we-provincial legislature in terms of ama-preparation up to date. Esilindeleke ukuthi undunankulu abeke inkulumo yakhe yesifundazwe lapho khona azositshela khona ukuthi izethembiso lezi ezenziwe ngonyaka odlule because le nkulumo yesifundazwe lena yenzeka njalo nje ngonyaka lapho enza khona izithembiso enze abeke khona ama-priorities e-province abeke khona futhi nezinto ekufanele zenzeke ukuze kushintshwe impilo yabantu ibe ngcono. So esikulindele kundunankulu namhlanje ukuthi azise isitshaba azise abantu baseMpumalanga ukuthi kuzo zonke lezi zinto akhulume ngazo kulonyaka odlule sekuhanjwe ngangani ukuthi ku-implemente lezo zinto ezifana nokwakhiwa kwamathuba omsebenzi ezifana nokwakhiwa kwe-infrastructure ezifana nokunikezelwa kwama-services kubantu, ama-services afana namanzi, afana nogesi, afana nemigwaqo nawo wonke amanye ama-services abantu abawadingayo. Kodwa futhi silindele ukuthi uPremier aphinde asitshele ukuthi yini ezokwenzeka ke ukusukela namhlanje kuya phambili in terms of each and every department njengoba ukuthi le nhlangano ebusayo ama-priorities ayo indaba yokuthi abantu bathole ezempilo ngokufanelekileyo, abantu bathole ezemfundo ngokufanelekileyo, abantu bakwazi ukubhekelelwa ngama-social services nokuthi i-department nge-department okufana ne-department ye-agriculture kube ngama-department asetshenziswa ekutheni kwakhiwe umnotho waseMpumalanga. Yizo izinto esizilindele lezo.
Mhlambe kulokhu Chief Whip obekufanele kwenzeke kulomnyaka mali odlulile nibone kwenzeka kahle mhlambe ngokuyangani njengamalungu esishayamthetho manenza ama-oversight nakho konke?
Yebo sibone kwenzeka right kahle kakhulu ngoba uzokhumbula ukuthi kulonyaka odlule uPremier uye wathembisa ukuthi i-department ye-agriculture noma umnyango we-agriculture uzokwakha i-fresh produce market. Siyayibona i-fresh produce market iphelile, okusele nje ukuthi le fresh produce market i-operationalizwe yenziwe ukuthi iqale ukusebenza. Sithe sizokwakha ama-agri-hubs ukuze lama agri-hubs kube yiwona athatha umkhiqizo awumekise kule fresh produce market. Siwabonile ama-agri-hubs ayakhiwe endaweni yaseMkhondo, endaweni
Open order march.
endaweni yasesiyabuso. Kuthiwe kuzokwakhiwa amathuba omsebenzi.
God of order. Right this.
Premier's job creation fund i-creator imisebenzi across the province. Abantu abasha baba namabhizinisi abo, abanye bathengisa inkukhu, abanye banamabhizinisi ngokwahlukana. So in short, in summary, singathi in terms of the performance of government in the province of Mpumalanga, led by Mtshweni-Tsipane undonankulu, esikubonile okwamanje ukuthi eziningi zalezi thembiso abazenzile bakwazile ukuzifeza.
Chief Whip, angithokoze isikhathi sakho ukuthi ube nathi. Sithokozile khulu kwamambala, singahlala phasi mhlambe siyokulalela inkulumo kandunankulu, siyazi ukuthi lokho okuthileko ukuthi niyak-expecta. Let's hope ukuthi kuzakuba njalo. Siyathokoza baba.
Thank you very much. Ngiyathokoza.
Thank you. Nakho-ke besikhuluma naye uSibebe wesibethamthetho sesifunda seMpumalanga, Chief Whip of the Majority Party ubaba uMlombo. Njeke siyaqhubeka nehlelo lethu sizokwamukela ubaba uWeber ongomunye wamalunga wesishayamthetho. Ubaba uWeber ke ushaya isiZulu esikhathini esiningi. Baba ngicela ungibambele nje la ukhulumele kulombhobho. Siyakwamukela baba ku special broadcast se State of the Province address sika 2024.
Siyabonga, ngiyabonga ukuthi nami ninginike ithuba ukuthi ngibeke lezi zinto engizibonayo.
Yebo baba uWeber kafishane nje shortly ngoba isikhathi sethu cishe siyalimala. Shortly ni expecta ini mhlambe kule nkulumo kandunankulu yanamhlanje?
Angazi ukuthi uzawuthini kodwa mangithi ngiexpecta uzawusitshela ukuthi kuyini ozakwenza masiya ku emva kwele election.
Yes.
Kodwa thina asikwazi ukubuka lokho. Ufuna ukuthi sibone ukuthi usishiyele.
Yeah.
Kuyini okushiyile?
Ilegacy.
Kwenzekeni ngalesikhathi ephethe kule minyaka emihlanu kuyini lokho? Masibuka zikhona izinto ezingaphelanga. Njengalezi isikolo lapha eMkhondo, iKhondo boarding school azange baliqede. Agri hub eMkhondo balishiyile nje bakwakha bese bayayekela. I-fresh produce market ayikapheli namanje. Iloko okushiyile bekufanele ukuthi aqede ukuthi asinikeze ukuthi cha ke naku sengiqedile. Into ekushiyile lapha ukuthi mangibuka ukuthi kwenzekani kwezinye indawo. Ngibona ukuthi bayazondana. Mangibuka le ngaseParliament mabekhuluma abakhulumi nokuhlonipha nokuhloniphana bayathetha babukelane ngokuzonda. Lokho akukho lapha ngakithi sikubeke ukuthi siyahloniphana. Siyalalela ukuthi lona omunye uthini ake ngilalele kungenzeka ukuthi akhulume isiqiniso. Lokho kwenzekile lapha.
Yebo ungayibambela eduze nje i-microphone yakho awuzweke.
Bese mangibuka lamadolobha afuna ukubhidlika. Naloko iloko ozawushiyela kule minyaka emihlanu la ngalesikhathi ekuphethe. Iloko okuhluphayo. Kodwa ngokunye yena eyiphatha ngendlela enhle. Akazange athethe behamba ngendlela ukuthi esijabulise.
No siyabonga baba uWeber. Ngiyathemba ukuthi naye uzwile la khona ukuthi noko kukhona okujabulisayo nanoma kusesenomsebenzi ofanele wenzeke. Nina njengamalungu wesishayamthetho eMpumalanga isizwe sibukelele kini ukuthi kube yini abasimela kahle kusishayamthetho nilethe imfuno zabo kusishayamthetho. Noko siyabonga baba uWeber, isikhathi sethu sincane kakhulu. Ubaba uWeber ngaqhubeka ayohlala ngaphakathi alalela inkulumo kandunankulu. Siyawukhuluma seyidlulile ukuthi kwenzekeni mhlamba ama expectations wakho abe khona kwenzekeni.
Cha ke ngiyabonga ukuthi unike ithuba. Mase siqedile ukulalela yena bese nathi sizawubeka ukuthi sibone ukuthi sikubuka kanjani. Mina ngizawubuya ngesibuko. Ngingakhulumi mina ngizawumbambela isibuko ukuthi awubuke nawe ukuthi uwenzeni kule minyaka emihlanu.
Yes.
Wenzeni?
Asibonge baba uWeber.
Ngingakhulumi mina lesibuko sikukhulumisa.
I-oversight ke leyo. Asibonge baba uWeber kakhulu. Sibonge isikhathi sakho baba.
Siyabonga.
Siyathokoza kakhulu kwamambala njenganje ke siyaraga siyaphambili sila endlini zesibetha mthetho esifundeni seMpumalanga eMpumalanga Provincial Legislature ngaphambi kweBaobab Building kulapho sirhatshela sikhona sikulethela a special broadcast nokho ke khumbulani ke bantwana bekhaya ukuthi iminyaka imachuma mathathu nje isibetha mthetho solo sikhona unyaka lo kuhlangana iminyaka emachuma mathathu solo kwaba nesibetha mthetho sesifunda seMpumalanga ngemva kobana kuyiwe emakhethweni wenarha yonke ezombelele ngomnyaka ka1994 nokho ke njenganje ngiyakhamba siqalile lapha ku red carpet abantu bakhamba kamnandi bayangena ngokuhlukahluka kwabo njenganje ke ngiyamukela omunye wamalungu engizokukhuluma naye ngoba uzakhumbula ukuthi nakune state of the province address ku-invitwa pheze ama-spheres wonke ahlangana nohulumende namtshana asebenzisana nohulumende kungaba bukhosi kungaba kumasipala kungaba majaji bonke abantu abakhona ngaphakathi kwe-state baya invitwa babe khona babe sendaweni inye bazokuhlala balalele inkulumo kaNdunankulu ngoba kunezinto ezibathindako esikhathini esiningi uNdunankulu nakakhulumako njenganje ke samukela ubaba uNdabezitha ubaba uKhoshi wakwaMkwena sikhamba naye la ku special broadcast sethu sizokukhulumisana naye Ndabezitha siyakulotshisa siyakwamukela ku this special broadcast ungayibambele eduze nje imic sithokoze Ndabezitha.
Angibonge nami ngibonge kuba khona la ngiyibingelele nalabo ababukele kule channel Mzansi wonke neAfrica.
Siyabonga Ndabezitha. Ndabezitha ungakhe uthi kancane nje ukuthi nina njengendlu yamakhosi icontrolesa esifundeni seMpumalanga niqale ukuthi uNdunankulu mhlamba ngathinta ini ephathelene nani ama expectations wenu njengobukhosi.
Asithokoze nkokheli yami si controlesa sindlu yamakhosi la eMpumalanga. Siyazi ukuthi le iSOPA yokugcina ku le term yale legislature. Ngiyethemba ukuthi uNdunankulu uzosithatha down memory lane ukuthi lo government wenzeni kusuka le kuzofika manje nokuthi amahlelo akhe kusuka manje kuya phambili azokhamba ngayiphi indlela. Singamakhosi nathi silindele ukukhulu ukuthi kwangathi singezwe ukuthi abantu bethu abahlala edaweni zasemakhaya bazozuza ngayiphi indlela in terms of ama services la kufuna bawathole ikakhulukhulu indaba zamanzi ne-infrastructure yemigwaqo kanye nokusola kwemisebenzi kanye necrime le ebhoke ngenye indlela. Singamakhosi siyazi ukuthi lokho okuthinta amakhosi ngco uNdunankulu uyeza azovula indlu yamakhosi kungekho kudala. Ngiyacabanga kula azo unpack kona one by one ukuthi uzoyenzelana amakhosi izinduna amakhansela asebukhosini nabantu abahlala endaweni lasebukhosini sibheke likhulu kuloko uNdunankulu umsakazi wami omuhle.
Siyathokoza Ndabezitha ngenxa yesikhathi ngiyabona ukhamba nebandla lakho lobukhosi nesekela lakho kodwa ngenxa yesikhathi bengingathanda ukuthi nginikhulumise kuhle sizigedlile ngenxa yesikhathi sethu nokho ngiyathokoza ukuthi uthatha ithuba uzokukhulumisana nathi sethembe ukuthi ekulumeni kaNdunankulu kuza kuvela lokhu enikuqalileko nokuthi enik-expectako njengobukhosi kwenzeke ngaleyo ndlela. Siyathokoza baba ni enjoy ikulumo kaNdunankulu.
Sithokoze baba kube njalo baba.
Sithokozile besikhulumisana noKhoshi Lamek wakwaMkwena onguye ophethe indlu yobuholi bendabuko eMpumalanga iContralesa sithokozile ukukhulumisana naye kamnandi khulu kwamambala siyaraga siyaphambili njenganje nisilandela lapha ku channel 408 nisilandela eTV Parliamentary Channel 408 ku DSTV nisilandela lapha kumihatsho yomphakathi ama community radio stations wethu ala eMpumalanga ukusukela eKangala ukuya eHlanzeni ukuya eGertsibande wonke ama district weMpumalanga sikhona kuma community radio stations kanti-ke sikhona na ku Facebook na ku YouTube yeMpumalanga Provincial Legislature siyathokoza njenganje ngamukela ubaba uNthale Reverend Dr Nthale sizokukhulumisana naye ngaphasi kwe leadership ye moral regeneration esifundeni seMpumalanga baba Nthale siyakwamukela Reverend Dr ku special broadcast sethu on channel 408 parliamentary channel.
Siyabonga baba ukuthola lelithuba enisiniketa lona singumtimba ukuvuselela kwesimilo. Angibe sesimilweni nje nami ngibingelele labo bonke labasibukele njenganyalo. Angisho baba ukuthi sijabule kakhulu singilomtimba ukuvuselela similo la eprovincini yakithi. Sisaphila sasekhona.
Awu siyabonga Reverend mhlambe kancane nje ungake uthi kancane kuloku nina enikubukelele njenge moral regeneration movement eMpumalanga ukuthi mhlambe ningathanda ukubona undunankulu anenzela kona noma mhlambe kuvele kule nkulumo yakhe.
Sibonge kakhulu lesingathanda ukuthi kuvele kule nkulumo yandunankulu ukuthi njengoba wadi nesive sathi ukuthi umsebenzi wethu yini ukuthi sine vision yokucreate i-society le just le caring le tolerant for the common good. Kusho thina asikabuki ma individuals kodwa sibuke wonke umuntu sifuna lo mphakathi ukuthi siwakhe sonke sikwadi ukuphilela ngakho ke lesikulinzele namhla la ukuthi indunankulu njengoba atowenda le political nale socio economic efaka nalokunye ekhathi lamanye ama issues ekhathi siyethemba ukuthi njengoba silwa nebugebengu silwa necorruption silwa nema social ills uma ngakushwamba kanye ngikubeke kube njalo singathokota kakhulu uma ndunankulu bangasibukelela ubudlelwane bethu khumbula i-moral regeneration it's civil driven kodwa it's partnered na government kokuthi lo budlelwane bethu uma bungaba strengthened sitokwathi ukuthi sincedise government sincedise sibe sakithi ekutheni lo bugebengu nako konke lo lokutshekile le kwendeka kweveni lakithi lokwenda ukuthi singaphilelani kahle singaphilisani kahle sikwathi ukuthi sikucethe
especially when you talk of izinto ezifana nabo GBV abo domestic violence izinto ezifana nalezo
kungumsebenzi wethu lokho baba ukuthi silwisane naleto dingo sikuthathe sibe sakithi ukuthi kungaba kuhle ukuthi siphilelane singashayani singadonzani la sende maphutha khona sikolelane ngekuthula sibambane sibe munye sithembeke kulomunye nakulomunye ukuze ukuthi sibe sive lesinokuthula sive lesibambene sive lesiyaphambili.
Awakhuluma Reverend Dr ngacishe ngathi amen kuleyo ndawo. Siyabonga mphathi wami sibonge kakhulu ukuthola ithuba lokuthi sikhulumisane nawe. Ngiyathemba manje seningahlala ni enjoy inkulumo kaNdunankulu sesiyawubona emva kwaloko ukuthi noma mhlambe uthinte kangakanani kiloku okuzifiso zenu.
Siyabonga kakhulu.
Sithokozile baba. Ahake siyathokoza besikhulumisana naye uReverend Dr Nthale ophethe immoral regeneration la esifundeni seMpumalanga. Ngitshile ngathi nakwenzeka i-State of the Province address kuvela different sectors zomphakathi, different sectors zakahulumende ziyahlangana under one roof ukuze kwenzeke ukuthi bazokulalela inkulumo kaNdunankulu ngoba isithatha sonke from a learner to a pensioner to the youth, to everybody, Ogu community. This State of the Province address is touching our lives every day. So that's why you bona sibuza abantu njenganje ngamukela umama uSithole umhlonitshwa osendlini zesiphethamthetho njengelunga lesiphethamthetho. Ngabanye babantu abasebenza kumakomiti wesiphethamthetho to hold the executive accountable. Mhlonitshwa Sithole siyakwamukela.
Ngibonga njengoba ubona namhlanje abantu bajabulile kumnandi sizolalela undunankulu kuthi usiphatheleni namhlanje.
Yes, ilapho mama. Manje abantu lapha ngaphandle eSouth Africa basibhekile manje ku channel 408 basibukele ku Facebook yeMpumalanga Provincial Legislature na kuma radio station bazawulalela inkulumo kaNdunankulu. Manje nina ke njengabantu abakusibethamthetho abaholda i-executive accountable through ukuparticipate kuma-committees we-legislature. Mhlambe nibuke ukuthi uNdunankulu yini izinto enifisa ukuthi ngathi angazithatha more kule nkulumo yakhe.
Njengoba sila ilanga lanamhlanje ilanga lokuthi uNdunankulu anikeze ihope kubantu baseMpumalanga. So as much as it's an address by the Premier, but it is also an address to ignite hope in terms of going forward, in terms of the future. And that is why we expect ukuthi asitshele amanye ama-plans anawo entweni ezihlupha umphakathi, indaba efana indaba yamanzi ngoba ungathi yana ngokuba wese uNdunankulu athule nje ukuthi nayi plan yami abantu baseMpumalanga ngizoyilungisa kanje le ndaba njengoba ngibona seyinhlupha kakhulu ukuthi kuma masipala ngizongenelela kanjani ukuthi ilunge indaba yemisebenzi siyazi ukuthi into ukuthi abantu babheke kakhulu ukuthi kazi imisebenzi izodaleka kuphi sizobona impilo iqhubekela phambili economy iya phambili na izinto ukuthi abantu bahlele ekhaya abasibukelayo balindele ukuzwa ukuthi uNdunankulu uthini amanye ama project awaletha azoletha imisebenzi uthula sisi-expecta ukuthi athule lokube nama-project amasha asizozwa ngawo namhlanje ngoba kukhona la kade akhona eza nawo but sifuna ukuthi kube nokusha futhi okuwukuthi lento le unemployment soyilwisa kanje siyi-province siyolwa nayo and siyolwa nayo kanje mina nguNdunankulu ngiphathele lokho naloko ngoba as much as it's the last SOPA for this term okusalako uhulumende uyaqhubeka so kufuneka ukuthi nje abantu babe nethemba babe nehope ukuthi lokho akuthulile nami ngizibona ngingathola umsebenzi nami ngizibona ibusiness ana lami lingathola ukuthize so that si-ignite le hope ebantwini.
No, siyabonga kakhulu Mhlonishwa Sithole. Ngicabanga ukuthi you said a mouthful. Siyabonga seningaqhubeka mama niyo enjoya inkulumo kaNdunankulu. Sethemba ukuthi lokho enikufisako naloko enifisa ngathi kungenzeka kuza kuba njalo.
Siyabonga.
Sibongile mama. Thank you very much. Sithokozile kumama uJane wakwaSithole ongomunye wamalungu wesiphethamthetho la kuMpumalanga Provincial Legislature lokho-ke bavele enhlanganweni zabo ezihlukeneko. Siyathokoza siyabona ke kuyenzeka lapha ku-red carpet solo kuyaqhubeka kunama-cultural groups a-entertain abantu ne-brass band yesipholisa ngiyayibona seyijame ngokwekhabo lakhona ilinde ukuthi yamukele uNdunankulu nakalethwa ngusomlomo baya lapha endlini yesiphethamthetho njenganje nginomunye wabantu abama-beneficiaries ku-Premier's Youth Development Fund ngoba ngenye yezinto ezivela
the Integrated Guard of Honor, inclusive of the Mpumalanga Police Band, has formed up on the pavement. All members of the Executive Council, members of Mpumalanga Legislature, and guests are requested to take their seats as per arrangements in the chamber.
Mtshweni-Tsipane. I'm grateful to be one of the beneficiaries in Mpumalanga. This has
Ladies and gentlemen, the Provincial Commissioner of Mpumalanga Province, Lieutenant General Manamela, and the Deputy Provincial Commissioner of Support Service, Major General Likubu, will now march on to take their positions on the designated area.
YouTube yeMpumalanga Provincial Legislature sesi abantu abasha ukuphigari urana iphigari so abantu abasha bavamise ukuthi babaleke ku farming ake nje ubagqugquzele uyibambele eduze le microphone yakho ungayibambele kudeni ubagqugquzele nje eMpumalanga yonke ukuthi kuyenzeka and ku farming bangangena baba abantu abasha.
Yes, as I've said, I'm into piggery farming. The passion came from when I was young. Ubaba bekafuyile ingulube.
Good morning, PC.
We had to do feed.
Permission to continue.
And all of that.
Out of order. Stand at ease.
It's a dirty animal. No, pigs are very clean. What you give them is what you benefit at last. So with pigs, you eat meat every day. We eat bacon. So yeah, I'll just say go for piggery farming. In terms of agriculture at large, there are many opportunities.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Speaker, the Honorable Makhosazana Masilela, and the aides de camp will resume their position to await the arrival of the Premier.
Kamba kuhle bara siyakhamba sibe nama challenges most especially imibereko asiyitholi in the government sector.
Okay.
Yeah.
But ungamgqugquzela kumuntu omutsha njengoba wena kwenzekile kuwe azi ukuthi into eziziyenzeka azikhulunywa kuphela ngoba you are part of the beneficiaries ababenefitileko ku Premier Youth Development Fund.
Yeah, uMam Refilwe ngathanda ukuthokoza uMam Refilwe. Mam Refilwe uhlala atsho athi uzoyithola kanjani uhlele khoneni. Ngithi ulutsha lala ekhaya lisikime ama opportunities akhona, they are vast, alinde bona. They must read yonke into abahlangana nayo, whatever they come across, read. Information is there. Take part kuma structures wa locally. Information is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ngithokoza lelo ngiba ukuthi sisale sivala net khona lapho ukuthi ukufunda kubalulekile, ukuba neinformation kubalulekile. Ngithokozile Mkoneni Masombuka ungangena ngaphakathi uyokulalela inkulumo kaNdunankulu sizwe ukuthi ukuya phambili uqhubeka kanjani ne-Youth Development Fund le.
Thokoza mina baba.
Yes, thokoze baba. Akhake sithokozile emakhaya sisakhamba nani ngaphakathi special broadcast sethu ukusukela la endlini zesibetha mthetho zesifunda seMpumalanga ngikhamba nani bunqopha lapha ku channel 408 okuyi parliamentary DSTV channel sinani ku Facebook page eMpumalanga Provincial Legislature sinani ku YouTube page nalapha kuma community radio stations wethu kuma district womathathu wesifunda seMpumalanga sikhamba nani kamnandi khulu kwamambala ikulumo izabe iphumela lapho undunankulu uzaba ibeka kusukela ngesimbi yechumi nje angifuna ukona isikhathi ni ngifuna ukwamukela umdosi phambili ubaba uSpeed Mashilo ongusomkhandlu wezezindlu la esifundeni seMpumalanga begodu nje uhlezi la njengo leader of government business nange ngingayigwagwanisa indaba le baba Mashilo siyakwamukela.
Ngiyathokoza ngilotshisa abalaleli bekwekwezi ligwalagwala eMpumalanga bonke ngithi sanibonani.
Siyathokoza baba Mashilo njengoba kuzokuhlala undunankulu azokukhuluma nesitshaba seMpumalanga nje mhlambe niqalelele ukuthi yini izinto mhlambe ungasithatha nje ngamehlo engqondo njengo leader of government business ukuthi okwenzekile kokuhle ngilokhu njeke sesiqale phambili ngoba ngiyokugcina le SOPA kule term.
Sithokoza lethuba silitholako esikulindele kakhulu namuhla undunankulu uzazama ukukhabarisha umsebenzi wenze le i-administration esibiza ukuthi se-6 asekulo umbuso wesinawe ANC. Uzazama ukukhabarisha nenkinga esibukane nazo zamanzi indaba zokuhlala abantu ukuthi sihlalisa kanjani abantu uzozama ukukhabarisha futhi nendaba ye-development the economy of the province ukuthi siwazile ku-recover from i-COVID njengoba wazi kakhulu ukuthi i-COVID yasilimaza sesikuphi kwamanje njenge-province akwazi ukukhabarisha futhi nendaba yemfundo education uzakhumbula ukuthi eMpumalanga besingana university sesine university ingaba le universities iyakhula kuyini ekwenzako ingaba yasinceda ngedevelopment uzazama ukukhabarisha nokuthi amakhosi esinawo eMpumalanga kuyini esibanikeza khona esibanceda into esibiza ukuthi tool of trade phecelezi uzazama ukukhabarisha futhi nale indaba ebaluleke kakhulu indaba electricity yegas in the province uzakhumbula ukuthi eMpumalanga sindawo lapha sinikeza khona ngogas uzazama ukukhabarisha undunankulu sibuka kakhulu uzabuka neagriculture lapho sicabanga ukuthi masithatha agriculture iyaphambili sokwazi ukuraga umhlako sokwazi ukunceda isizwe sekithi sikwazi ukuqhubeka siye phambili
umnotho ulapho kuhle kuhle
kahle kahle umnotho ulapho into undunankulu azakwazi ukuzimelela phezukwazo lezinto akwazi ukuzibuka nawo wonke lama project esiwayenzako nalawa sizoqhubekisa kulehlelo elizako lapha ngase enkangala mawuye coronation noma uye siyanqoba kunale itrain idlula khona nendleleni evane cause ama accident uzazama ukuzibuka zonke lezi zinto esicabanga ukuthi lezi zinto zidevelopa umphakathi wekhetho ukuthi sanjani phambili.
No siyathokoza baba kuzwakele ngicabanga ukuthi uyibeke kwagcwala umlomo asingasamochi isikhathi sakho ngoba ngiyabona ukuthi sesichidele esikhathini la undunankulu azokuvela khona mhlambe umlayezo wakho nawo esichabeni seMpumalanga sonke ungathini nje kibo ukuthi balandele ikulumo le kandunankulu.
Into esibuke abantu bakithi ukuthi basincede ngayo ukuthi bayilalele le ikulumo kandunankulu abese sayenza wonke amakhansela amaduna amakhosi siwazi ukusebenzisa siwazi ukuimplementa ngonto ekulu ekuvane isalele emuva ku-implementa sicela ukuthi ama-officials we-government province local government funa si-implemente izinto undunankulu azozikhuluma siyathokoza.
Exactly asithokoze sikuthokoze baba Mashilo sithokoze khulu kwamambala haye ngirareke ukuthi ngithini na ufikako ngoba nokuba ngundaba ezitha siyathokoza khulu kwamambala asirageleni phambili ke nokuhatshwa kwethu kanti ke nawuthi uyaqala lapha emadeni obovapha kune procession engenako njenganje edoswa phambili ngu-advocate ubuyile ngwakwamdluli okunguye ophethe illegal services yala eMpumalanga Provincial Legislature ukhamba namalunga ngesikhathi se State of the Province address is that everybody is brought under one roof to come and listen to the address by the Premier of the province as the first citizen of Mpumalanga province. Manje ke kungakho ke ubona isigungu samajaji, ubona i-local government, ubona i-traditional leadership, ubona isibethamthetho, ubone ubone amaziko wonke kahulumende ngaphakathi kweMpumalanga province. Yinto ebalulekileko leyo ngokwethulwa kwenkulumo kaNdunankulu, begodu lokho kutshengisa ukuthi i-accountability eyenziwa e-legislature vane isenziwa ngaphasi kwamiphi imikhakha kahulumende namtshana ngaphasi kwamaphi ama-spheres wakahulumende, ngoba angithi state sihlukaniseke kathathu, kune-judiciary, kune-executive, bese kuba ne-legislative sector. Yeke-ke i-legislative sector nayibetha umthetho, i-judiciary yenza isiqiniseko sokuthi umthetho loyo uyasetshenziswa, uya-applywa, bese uhulumende yena wenza sure ukuthi ama-services ayaya ebantwini, abantu bafumana ama-services afaneleko ngoba kusetshenzelwa umphakathi. Ukhumbuleke nokuthi isibethamthetho, iMpumalanga Provincial Legislature njengoba inje, ililihlo labantu besifunda seMpumalanga, ukuqala ukuthi uhulumende uyazithula insiza athe uzoziletha ebantwini, uyabenzela abantu izinto ekumele azenze, ngoba uyeza uhulumende kusibethamthetho afike alethe ama-plans wakhe department by department, ukuyokufika kuye uNdunankulu qobo lakhe, baletha ama-plans wabo bafike bawandlale phambi kwesibethamthetho. Isibethamthetho kube ngiso esiphasisa isabelo mali namtshana ibudget ezokusetshenziswa ngile minyango yonke kahulumende nama-parastatals wakhona bonke ngendlela abasebenza ngakhona. Manje kungakho ke kuqakathekile ukuthi njengesakhamuzi seSouth Africa, isakhamuzi sesifundeni seMpumalanga, ukuzwisise ube nesithombe sokuthi zihlanganaphi lama-spheres wombuso, ngoba i-state mbuso, uhulumende ngu-government. Manje ama-spheres wombuso la kufuneka uwazi ukuthi ahlangana kuphi, ahlangana njani, omunye uyasebenza, omunye ulilihlo lokuqala ukuthi umsebenzi wenzeka ngendlela efaneleko na. Njengoba ubona esithombeni sakho nje na ungathi uyaqala, mina ke ngathi sengizoyivala yami i-broadcast. Ngithokozile ukuthi nisilandele kule broadcast especial ku-channel 408, i-parliamentary channel lapha ku-DSTV channel 408, nalapha ku-Facebook yeMpumalanga Provincial Legislature, naku-YouTube page yeMpumalanga Provincial Legislature. Siba ukuthi ke nisilandele nemirhatshweni eyahlukeneko, imirhatsho yomphakathi ukusukela eGertsbande ukuya eHlanzeni ukuya eNkangala. Nisilandele le nkulumo kaNdunankulu, ngibawa niyilandele lapho, niyilandele nala ku-channel 408 ku-DSTV channel 408 ku-parliamentary channel. Siyathokoza kakhulu kwamambala ukuthi nibe nathi, kanti-ke njenganje kungena uNdunankulu, ngiyabona sela ahlikile, ungena emadeni obovu ukhambisana nosomlomo wesibethamthetho nokunguye omamukelako, bezeke kuzokwenzeka lokhu okuba yi-formal procession eyenzekako eyendlalela ukuthi uNdunankulu akwazi ukwethula inkulumo yakhe. Manje ke ngikho ngithi mina ngale magama engiwakhulumako ngizama ukurapha up le broadcast, nginikele lapha ku-red carpet nalapha kuma-cultural groups ahlukeneko. Sinama-cultural groups yesiNdebele, ye-Afrikaans, ama isindiya sikhona naso, sikhona iSpedi, sikhona Xitsonga, sikhona neSwati. Ya kunama cultural groups angaba likhomba akhona la akhangisa ngobuhle obukhona obukulesi sifunda seMpumalanga esikiso mntwana kwethu, njengoba sizokwamukela ikulumo yobunjalo besifunda yakandunankulu. Ngiyathula mina njenganje, I'm handing over to South African Police Services irakele phambili nehlelo njengoba undunankulu seleza. Siyathokoza.
Led by the Aides de Camp to the podium.
Guard of honor, attention. General salute. Salute.
The Premier will be joined by the Provincial Commissioner and the Deputy Provincial Commissioner to inspect the ceremonial guard of honor.
Morning, Premier. Kailan mangana? buyela neside. Sesajike sekuqedile. Cela kubuyela this side. After 5 beats, to count 1, 2 to 5, 6 at top. 1, after 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Premier, permission to rejoin the parade.
Okay, that's fine, thank you. Okay.
Yes.
Official march past by the guard of honor will now take place. Only the Premier will acknowledge the salute.
Guard of honor, close, order, march. Guard of honor, move to the right in trace, right in. The parade will march past in columns of platoon. Dressing by the left, quick march.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Premier will now descend the podium, joined by the Speaker, the Provincial Commissioner, and the Deputy Provincial Commissioner, led by the aides de camp, to the chamber.
Gijima.
Honorable Mtshweni-Tsipane, the Premier, Honorable Mtshweni-Tsipane.
There will now be an opportunity for silent prayer or meditation. Thank you. May we be seated? Okay. Section 127, subsection 2D of the Constitution provides that the Premier is responsible for, open quote, summoning the legislature to an extraordinary sitting to conduct special business, close quote. Rule 9, subsection 1 of the Rules and Orders of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature further provides that the Speaker must inform the legislature of the time and the date on which the Premier must deliver the State of the Province address. And the House proceedings must be suspended until the Premier has delivered the State of the Province address, unless the Speaker, in consultation with the Premier, decides otherwise. Honorable members, in accordance with Section 127, subsection 2D of the Constitution and Rule 9, subsection 1 of the Rules and Orders of the Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature, I have received a request from the Honorable Premier to convene the special sitting of the Legislature to enable her to deliver the State of the Province address, and I have acceded to the request. I now have the pleasure of inviting the Honorable Premier of Mpumalanga Province, Mrs. R.M. Mtshweni-Tsipane, to deliver the State of the Province address.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Once again, let me take this opportunity and pass my warm greetings to your good self, to the Deputy Speaker of the Legislature, to the ministers who are present here with us, the Deputy Ministers who are also here with us, the members of the Executive Council, honorable members of the Mpumalanga Legislature, honorable members of Parliament and National Council of Provinces, the Deputy Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, all our executive mayors present today, our Chairperson for the Provincial House of Traditional and Khoisan Leaders, Kgoshi Mokoena, and all our revered traditional leaders, Judge President of Mpumalanga Division, Justice and members of the judiciary present, the chairpersons and CEOs of our parastatals, the Acting Director General, Mr. Nyoni, and all heads of departments, our municipal managers and all senior government officials, the Provincial Secretary of the African National Congress, Comrade Congress Women's League in our midst, and also the leadership of the African National Congress Youth League, leaders of the opposition parties in our midst, the representatives of labor, distinguished guests, and all dignitaries present here today, compatriots, comrades, and friends. Lochan. Madam Speaker, let me begin by extending my gratitude to all of you who have traveled throughout this magnificent province we call our home, Mpumalanga. Others came from far and wide across the province of hope and progress. On the same breath, allow me to extend my warmest greetings and welcome to those at home who are State of the Province address for the current administration. And if I may add, the one that will conclude 30 years since they demolished the mountaintop. I salute the African National Congress. It has fulfilled our expectation in its role as the leader of my voice in mourning our comrades and friends who died in a bus accident in the early hours of Sunday morning near Mkhondo municipality. We all attend in Sudwala intersection on Wednesday, the 28th of February. With your indulgence, Madam Speaker, may I request that we bow our heads and observe a moment of silence for the lives we have lost. May their soul rest in peace. Thank you. It is indeed a sad loss, not only to their families, but to the province and the country recovery. Madam Speaker, I must say that I am truly humbled and filled with a sense of honor and gratitude for the intervention for the province of the Rising Sun on the progress we have made in our efforts to make the lives of our people better, in particular the poor and the down of the governing party, as presented by His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa. This Freedom Charter, the Reconstruction and Development Program, the National Development Plan, and the Medium-Term Strategic Framework that we are concluding in this current term guide us in all our government work, and we endeavor to deliver service delivery to our people. As we approach the end of the tenure of this current administration and move towards celebrating another great milestone in our history of 30 years since we ushered the democratic dispensation, we need to reflect on our journey that we have traveled together, acknowledge the tremendous progress that we have made, identify our shortcomings and mistakes, and forge ahead with a common purpose to better the lives of our people. April the 27th, 1994 will forever remain indelible in our minds and annals of our history. A day when South Africans of all races voted for the first time as one nation under the democratic dispensation. In his inaugural address, we have triumphed in the effort to implant hope in the breasts of the million black and white, will be able to walk tall without any fear in their hearts, assured of their inalienable rights to human dignity, a rainbow nation at peace with itself and the world, close quote. Indeed, Madam Speaker, on each and every occasion that we have held the general elections, the ANC-led government, working with its alliance partners and civil society, have made commitments to renew this covenant with the people of this province, which the late President Mandela committed us to. As part of strengthening and legitimizing our democratic dispensation, we periodically hold national and provincial elections, followed by the government elections.
Honorable Premier, can you please take your seat? Let me remind honorable members and honorable guests about the rules that are adopted by Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature. Can you please be audible? This is an honorable house. In terms of our rules, can you please can I request that you assist to remove the member there? I said you must shut up. Can you please shut up? 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 If you are here, you must obey the rules of the House. Can you please just shut up? Because I will request the officers to remove you. Can I remind honorable members and members of the public that in terms of our rules and order, can you please assist to remove her?
Can't you arrange water for them, Honorable Speaker?
Just give
They need water.
just water.
Honorable members.
Just need, she need water.
Honorable members, they are arranging water,
Yeah,
but
thank you.
she must not disrupt this house.
Yeah,
She must not disrupt this house.
You should have said that. You should have said that.
Shut up.
Water, it's hot.
That was easy.
Honorable members, let me indicate in terms of our rules and orders that members, in terms of Rule 34, subsection 12, states that members or members of the public may not sing or converse aloud in the chamber during a sitting. And I request all of you to respect the rules, because these are the rules of the House which are adopted by Mpumalanga Provincial Legislature. Madam Premier, can you please continue?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. On the May the 29th, just over 2 months from now, our people will be going to the polls to decide who represents their dreams, aspirations, and plight for the next coming 5 years. For the past 6... Should I continue?
Honorable Premier, can you please take your seat? Can I take the point of order? Honorable Nyembe.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise on the point where you said the audience must shut up. Nifuna ngisho kini ngoba ngikhuluma no-Speaker, ngikhuluma nani. Is it parliamentary to say to the audience, shut up? Is it parliamentary to say to the audience, shut up now? When they ask for water. That's my question, Speaker. Was there no other word, or was there any other communication that you can say except saying, shut up? And please withdraw, Speaker.
Honorable Nyembe, your point of order is not sustained. Honorable Premier, can you please proceed?
Madam Speaker, once again, on May the 29th, just over 2 months from now, our people will be going to the polls to decide who represents their dreams, aspirations, and plight for the next coming 5 years. For the past 6 general elections, the people of Mpumalanga province have overwhelmingly voted for the African National Congress, demonstrating their confidence that we can and we should continue with our work, no matter how difficult it is to make their lives better. Despite all domestic and global challenges that we have had to contend with, our performance as measured by what prevailed in 1994 and what prevails now speaks volumes. I will address this point in detail later on. We therefore call upon all citizens of this province to go out in their numbers and vote for the parties of their choice and give them a fresh mandate to represent them in government. Madam Speaker, we want to reflect on the past and the present. Numbers don't lie. Let us pause a bit and reflect on the Mpumalanga province of 1994 and the Mpumalanga province of today. When we were elected to the office in 1994, our population was a mere 3.3 million people. Today, Mpumalanga is home to 5.1 million people. The gross domestic product, that is the value of goods and services produced in Mpumalanga, was 46 billion rand. Today, our economy has grown to leaps and bounds to more than 530 billion rand, 12 times bigger than what it was, becoming the 4th largest economy in the country. In 1996, there were around 627,000 people employed in the province. Today, our economy employs more than 1.25 million people. The percentage of people living below the lower bound poverty line improved drastically from 64% in 1996 to 49.5% in 2022. This is supplemented by the provision of a wider safety security net that includes the special COVID-19 social relief of distress grant, the old age pension grant, the child support grant, and the care dependency grant, to name but a few examples. There has been a phenomenal growth in access to education in our province, with Stats SA General Household Survey findings indicating that the percentage of 7 to 17-year-old attending school in Mpumalanga province is at 98%. The throughput rate is improved from 46% in 2019 to 72% in 2023. Before 1994, thousands of children from poor families attended classes on an empty stomach. They had to endure traveling long distances to attend school. Today, 1 million children in this province from poor backgrounds enjoy free hot meals served at their respective schools. Approximately 75,000 students are transported to school daily through our scholar transport program. Prior to 1994, teenage girls from poor background would miss class due to unaffordable sanitary towels. Today, the ANC-led government has restored the dignity of a girl child. A total of 96,077 girl children in all quintile 1 schools are provided with sanitary towels. In 1994, only few households had access to piped clean water and proper sanitation. Today, 87% of households in Mpumalanga have access to clean water, and more than 93% have access to adequate sanitation. Today, more than 94% of all residents in Mpumalanga have access to electricity. In 1994, the infant mortality rate in Mpumalanga was 80 per 1,000 live births. Today, that figure stands at 11.2 per 1,000 live births. The maternal mortality rate in Mpumalanga in 1995 was much higher than the average rate. Today, that rate has dropped to 106.8 per 100,000. Before the advent of our democracy, Madam Speaker, the life expectancy of our people in this province
Honorable Premier, can you please take your seat? Honorable Mkabela.
Yeah, thank you very much, Speaker. I just want to check with you if the audience is allowed to clap hands in this house. I just want to check. No, you are not Speaker. I'm asking Speaker.
Order, Speaker. Order, Speaker. Order, Speaker.
Speaker.
Honorable Mkabela, can you please
allowed to clap hands?
Can you please take your seat?
Thank you.
In terms of our rules, Honorable Mkabela, members of Rule 34, which speaks about conduct in the House, Rule 34, subsection 12, members or members of the public may not sing or converse aloud in the chamber during a sitting. Not clapping hands, they can clap hands. Can you please proceed, Honorable Premier?
Madam Speaker, before the advent of our democracy, the life expectancy of our people in this province was hovering around 50 years and lower. Today, our people are living longer, with women averaging 65.8 years and men 60.7 years. We would like to see this figure rising to an average of 75 and 70 years respectively. One of the reasons why our people are living longer and healthier is because our government has an extensive TB and HIV/AIDS treatment programs which have assisted in prolonging the lives of those affected. When the ANC was elected to lead government in 1994, we had no universities, we only had a few technical colleges. Today, Mpumalanga is home to 4 universities, which are the University of Mpumalanga, the Tshwane University of Technology, the Vaal University of Technology, and the University of South Africa. We are also home to 2 private universities, which are Eduvos and Regenesis. In 1994, there were 89 public libraries. Today, we have 123 fully equipped public libraries, translating to 34 newly built libraries in townships and rural villages. We are, Madam Speaker, opening the doors of learning to every child who calls Mpumalanga home, as envisaged by the Freedom Charter. Prior to 1994, the future of the farm dweller's child was determined by the environment of his or her upbringing. A significant number of them were forced to drop out of school before completing their primary education and work in the farms with their parents, in most cases getting paid with a bag of mili-mili. Today, the ANC-led government has built 6 state-of-the-art boarding schools to restore the dignity and the plight of a farm dweller's children and improve the quality of education. These boarding schools are Ezakeni Boarding School in Kondo, Izimbali Boarding School in Kondo, Emakazeni Boarding School in Emakazeni, the Tabachwewu Boarding School in Tabachwewu, Shongwe Boarding School in Komazi, and lastly, the Stiftswete Boarding School in Stiftswete. Before our icon, the late President Mandela, could take on an oath on the 27th of April in 1994, more than 85% of land in this province was in the hands of the minority. Today, about 1,767,370 hectares of land have been acquired and transferred to the hands of the previously disadvantaged through our land reform programs of restitution and redistribution. Of this land, over 555,000 hectares of land have been restituted back to our people through communal property associations, benefiting in excess of 110,000 beneficiaries, which includes women, youth, and persons with disabilities. From our agricultural support programs like Masibuyele Esibayeni and Masibuyele Emasimeni, for emerging farmers, we are supporting farmers with livestock, such as cattle, sheep, goats, pigs, and chickens. In addition to the above, we are supporting all those who have farms to do cash crops and large-scale farming of maize, soya beans, sugarcane, and deciduous fruits such as apples, peaches, lychees, mangoes, and avocados. Before the dawn of our democracy, our people lived in squalor conditions with no housing and social amenities. Title deeds were restricted to the so-called 99-year leasehold. Today, we have built 236,395 low-cost houses for the most vulnerable. In addition, we have serviced 65,538 sites for the missing middle category, those who do not qualify for subsidized houses but are also not qualifying for bank-funded bonds. In total, this translates to 301,833 housing opportunities which were created. We have also issued 88,551 title deeds to their homeowners, guaranteeing their rights and the rights of their descendants to the ownership of such properties for life. Our province has grown from having a few corner shops in each and every town to having several shopping malls, which are in the main prevalent in villages, which also create job opportunities and bring valuable services closer to our people. Despite the challenges, Madam Speaker, our people are facing, which are different from other emerging economies, the ANC-led government has left an undeniable mark in changing the lives of our people for the better. Madam Speaker, the Freedom Charter asserts that there shall be work and security for all. We are in a season of jobs, 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 and more jobs. The quarterly labor force survey released last week shows that at the end of the fourth quarter of 2023, our province was employing 63,869 more people than the same period in 2022. From last year, employment in our province jumped by a whopping 47,705 people, taking the overall number of people working in this province to 1.25 million. This was the highest figure in Mpumalanga in years. However, we are still concerned with the high youth unemployment rate, currently sitting at 46.4% for young people between the ages of 15 and 34. Through the National Rural Youth Service Corps, a total number of 1,103 jobs have been created in the 2023-24 financial year. Our expanded public works program has been a meaningful contributor to household income for unemployed youth, and especially youth, women, and people with disabilities. Since its inception in 2004, this flagship program has created over 761,301 work opportunities in the province, of which 463,815, which translate to 61%, were women. Youth accounted for 362,523, which translate to 48%. And lastly, persons with disabilities were 5,206, which translated to 0.7%. In the months ahead, Madam Speaker, the program is set for major shake-ups that will see adoption of the Khawuleza model to characterize the new implementation approach. This comes after government has reviewed the past 4 phases of EPW and planning for the next phase, which will see over 5 million opportunities being created. EPWP Phase 5 will result in the program contributing to building better community infrastructure, empowering participants with training and skills to enter the job market, and becoming entrepreneurs as part of their exit strategies. The program will be massified to create more employment opportunities, as well as upskilling and reskilling, while attempting to solve the country's key challenges, such as road maintenance, potholes patching, brick paving, and ensuring potholes-free road networks, cleaning of neighborhoods and waste management, energy, retrofitting of government buildings and solar installations, and fixing of water leaks and plumbing. Madam Speaker, in our State of the Province address last year, we promised the people of Mpumalanga a job war room to tackle the high unemployment rate, which 21 programs were identified to enhance job creation efforts. By the end of January 2024, a total of 63,478 jobs were created through the 21 identified programs, including the Siatentela Road Maintenance Program, Government Nutrition Program, School Handyman and Tourism Safety Monitors, to name the few. Since 2021, and through the presidential employment stimulus, we have trained and created a total of 65,296 job opportunities for unemployed youth in different schools. One of our youth economic empowerment flagship programs, the Premier's Youth Development Fund, has produced stunning results. Since its inception in 2019, the Premier's Youth Development Fund has dispersed 258 million rand to fund 182 youth-owned enterprises. The funded beneficiaries have created more than 630 job opportunities in the following sectors: agriculture, mining, film and production, and manufacturing. These entrepreneurs have a potential of being pioneers in their chosen industries that play a key role in our economy and have demonstrated exceptional dedication and talent in their respective fields. As highlighted in the recent speech by President Ramaphosa, these young entrepreneurs serve as a perfect example of the empowerment programs offered by government. We are proud to see these young entrepreneurs flourishing and making a meaningful contribution to our economy and society. Their achievements are evident of the power of investing in our youth and nurturing their potential to drive positive change and innovation in our community. A number of businesses are operational and excelling within the 3 district municipalities. If I may give an example, Madam Speaker, the Mbita Electrical and Construction Pty Ltd, which is owned by Mr. Nyigo Matebula, a young entrepreneur based in Mtshweni-Tsipane municipality, whose business focuses on repairs, maintenance of electric generators for mining and manufacturing industries. This business has created 36 permanent jobs and 10 temporary jobs. May I request that Mr. Matebula to stand up so that we can acknowledge him. The Manikasiri Enterprise Pty Ltd is owned by a young entrepreneur, Mr. Khoza, from Bushbuckridge local municipality. The focus of this business is manufacturing, specializing on painting production, as well as renovation of houses. 8 jobs were created by this business. May I also request, Madam Speaker, Mr. Khoza, to stand up so that we can acknowledge him. The Mpuduma Trading and Projects, which is owned by a disabled entrepreneur, Mr. Sifiso Masombuga. This business is located at Tembisile, Hani local municipality, operating in the construction sector and providing tool hire services, and has created 14 job opportunities. May I also request Mr. Masombuga just to wave his hand. The Pre-Grow Projects, which is owned by Ms. Popinkosi, the business is operating in Mtshweni local municipality. The business is in the agricultural sector, specializing in piggery. The business has currently created 4 new job opportunities. May I also request Ms. Nkosi to stand up so that we can acknowledge her. On infrastructure development, Madam Speaker and fellow citizens, as early as in 1994, the ANC-led government identified infrastructure as the catalyst that has the potential to grow the economy and enhance the competitiveness relative to other provinces, whilst improving the quality of life for our people. In the last 30 years, the provincial government has completed a total of 3,762 projects in terms of education and health infrastructure. This includes 3,306 schools infrastructure projects, including construction of 21 new schools, 6 new boarding schools, the upgrading of 283 schools, 1,228 sanitation and ablution facilities, and 1,769 various other rehabilitation, renovation, repairs, and maintenance of projects. 303 health facilities were constructed, which include 3 new hospitals, 57 new clinics and community health centers, 70 upgrades, and 173 renovations. Additional projects that have been completed during this period of 30 years was this Riverside Government Complex, the Mpumalanga Archives Building, the Provincial Disaster Management Center, the Mpumalanga Traffic College in Mkhuhlu, the Mkhuhlu Agri-Hubs in Bushbuckridge, and the new municipal administrative offices in all 3 districts. National department initiatives in the province include the Mbombela Stadium, the High Court, the University of Mpumalanga in the city of Mbombela. Our province has also benefited from major transport, logistics, water, broadband, and electricity infrastructure projects, which were implemented by other spheres of government. Amongst these are the Machado Stop Interchange, the Carino Interchange, and the Montrose Interchange. And Madam Speaker, I have seen that the minister is here with us, the Minister of Transport. We really appreciate. It's not just a talk show, it is stages of development. The construction of mental ward with 60 beds capacity, upgrading of Siabuswa CHC, and the upgrading of Witbank Hospital mental unit. Madam Speaker, on roads and transport. The Mpumalanga Road Network is a core component of the provincial infrastructure because it precedes and facilitates development. However, adequate infrastructure is a fundamental precondition for transport system. Significant improvements were recorded on the provincial roads, which saw the upgrading 4 kilometers of roads across the province. Our road infrastructure, hospitals, shopping centers, and markets for their produce. The Maputo Development Corridor, which connects Mozambique to Mpumalanga and Gauteng, has brought tremendous improvement in the transportation of goods, especially mineral resources and tourists over the past 2 decades. Operation Valazonke is aimed at pothole patching and is beginning to gain traction, and this program is considered as a classical example of the district development model in action. We have consolidated our budget, personnel, and plans to attend to potholes across the province. To date, some pockets of excellence have been recorded on specific roads, but there is still a need to intensify implementation. Furthermore, the province handed over to SANRAL some of our strategic roads. This will also include roads that will be considered for piloting nanotechnology and materials. Madam Speaker, we do acknowledge that some of our roads require repairs and maintenance. Within the current municipal financial year, our municipalities will be completing a number of projects on roads, rehabilitation, and construction. The province is also rolling out a road infrastructure maintenance plan, which aims to augment the capacity of our municipalities to speed up the delivery on the patching of potholes. As a province, we have constructed 76 projects under the Integrated Rural Mobility and Access Program. This includes 17 bus shelters, 10 footbridges, 29 culverts, 15 bridges, 4 walkways, and 1 multimodal facility. Also, multitudes of maintenance works were implemented across existing transport infrastructure, which includes the patching and the resealing of surface roads and the regraveling and blading of gravel roads. A total of 57 roads construction projects were completed in the past 30 years, which includes the following: the rehabilitation of Road P170/1 between Matibiti and Graskop, D3930 Akonhoek to Hlubugani, Coal Hole P141/1 South Lua to Grill, Road P8/1 Mashishing and Bambi, D2486 N4 to, between N2 and Klepval, the upgrading of gravel roads to surface in Tanji, Mpageni, the D3973 from Hoshani and Marite, the D281 Volkras to Dagakral, the paving of roads D1875 Tweefontein to Gemboksspruit, the D2091 Marapiani to Limpopo border, and lastly, the D2952 Masibegele to Tambokulu. During the current administration, we will complete the following projects: the rehabilitation of sections P8/1, R36 between Mashishing and Bambi, phase 3, the D2950 Mananga to River Crossing, the coal hole P36/1 between Delmas and N12, the upgrading of D481 Moy Plus and Egulindeni, the D4407 from Hlubugani Orpen Road near Velvet Yard. To boost infrastructure development, government is also collaborating with the private sector, multilateral development banks, and the development finance institution to augment its skills, expertise, and funding. Madam Speaker, the people of Emalahleni have been complaining about the traffic congestion close to the railway line since time immemorial. To this effect, we are in a process of building the state-of-the-art interchange along the railway line from the city center leading to Pine Ridge, Clarinet, Siyanqoba, and Verina. This interchange will improve safety and ease traffic flow in that area. The planning and design processes have been completed. The construction of the interchange will commence in the 2024-5 financial year. Madam Speaker, the Nkosi City development remains one of the catalytic projects aimed at improving the lives of the people in the city of Mbombela and Ehlanzeni district broadly. Significant progress has been made on the legalization of the development in respect of planning processes, township establishment, and the development of the Surveyor General plans. This is critical in order to ensure that the development is compliant with all the relevant regulation and prescripts. We are working hard to unlock investments and strategic partnerships for this development, and they are similar and the other similar ones in the province. Various options are being explored to ensure that bulk infrastructure constructed not only addresses the demand capacity of the development, but also that of the surrounding areas within its proximity. More importantly, there is progress achieved in respect of plans to improve the road infrastructure, such as upgrading of the Alice Gudlani Road, the Nkomeni to Woboga Road, Polani to Masego Street, and Zamuguhle bus route, which all lead to the development site to ensure accessibility. In improving accessibility to Nkosi City, the province undertook a feasibility study on the construction of the high mobility ring road, providing ingress to and egress from the Nkosi City development. Madam Speaker, on tourism, we made a commitment last year to revitalize our provincial nature reserves. We are pleased to report to this August House that we have upgraded tourism facilities in 4 nature reserves with accommodation facilities at the following reserves. The Songimvelo Krom Dry Camp, the Andover, the SS Kosane, and also the Manyaleti. Phase 2 of the fence installation is in progress in order to minimize human-wildlife conflict in Songimvelo, the Mtshweni-Tsipane, and Dala reserves. It's important for us to implement this project efficiently, economically, and effectively in order to increase the number of visitors to our province. We are pleased with the intention to support the provincial efforts in this regard expressed from the National Department of Agriculture, Land Reform, and Rural Development. To this end, we are pleased to welcome Fly SA Fair to our shores from the 1st of April 2024, as they have introduced new routes from Kruger, Mpumalanga International Airport, and Cape Town. This adds further impetus to the gains we made when Aerowings, a German airline, chose Mpumalanga as its destination of choice more than a year ago. This is further supported by the State's South Africa Tourism and Migration Report released in January 2024, which placed Mpumalanga at the 2nd spot in international tourist arrivals. As early as February 2024, we entered into a strategic partnership with Aspinall Foundation to elevate the Loskop Dam Nature Reserve to a Big 5 game reserve. We have also concluded a collaboration with Greater Kruger Environmental Protection Foundation to fight poaching in Manyaleti. This collaboration includes establishing new pickets, maintenance of fence, and the training of field rangers. Madam Speaker, we said land shall be shared amongst those who work it. The land issue remains paramount to our struggle for economic emancipation. Land ownership in South Africa has long been a source of conflict. Our history of conquest and disposition of forced removals and radically skewed distribution of land resources has left us with a complex and difficult legacy. The 3 key elements of our land reform program, which is land restitution, land redistribution, and security of tenure, are responding to the requirements as set out by the Constitution of our country. Through our Phezu Komkholo Mlimi initiative, we supported farmers with production impetus and mechanization. As a result of this support, to date, our farmers plow up to 199,169 hectares of agricultural land cumulatively, and we have established no less than 12,720 food gardens. The program has also benefited 37,733 farmers in the last 5 years, of which 22,505 of them are women, 3,024 are youth, and 380 are persons with disabilities. In addition, 22,420 households also benefited from these initiatives. This program, Madam Speaker, has created 35,945 job opportunities. On food and nutrition security plan, during this 6th administration, we have launched various programs that target the mainstream young women farmers and persons with disabilities in all agricultural intervention. As we reflect on President's recent State of the Nation address, highlighting the importance of sharing good stories and recognizing the achievement of individuals in our in our society. We are proud to add the success stories of those young women farmers and persons with disabilities to the list of democracy children. Madam Speaker, these are our Dinzwalos. Khulile Mahlalela, our young farmer from Stiftswete local municipality who owns Beaker Farms in Vonderhoek, specializing in piggery production, sells her porkers to Rietpoort Vark Abattoir, the G3 Abattoir, and the BKB auction plants in Witbank and Bronkhorstspruit. She further produces peaches in 100 hectares, grain in 20 hectares, and agro processes such as 1,500 kgs of charcoal or 300 bags of 5 kg produced per week from peaches dry branches. Her peach project has offtake agreements with local and national markets, which include subtropical fresh produce market at Emalahleni. The charcoal she produces are sold at 12 local retail shops around Middleburg and Witbank. These include Food Lovers Market, Hyper Meat and Chicken, Roots Butchery, and Chakalas, amongst others. Her grain is sold to Afgri Milling, Godrich, and Tiger brands. She currently employs 13 permanent workers, 1 farm manager, 30 casual workers, and 15 seasonal workers. She has won several accolades, which includes Best Smallholder Female Entrepreneur, the Best Youth Female Entrepreneur, the Overall Female Agriculture Entrepreneur in Mpumalanga Province 2019, and she has represented the province at national level where she was awarded Best Youth Female Agricultural Entrepreneur in the country. With the winning from the awards, she managed to invest back and expand her farming business to 4 profitable enterprise businesses. With your indulgence, Madam Speaker, may I request Ms. Mahlalela to stand up so that we can acknowledge her. Yes, this is our Dintswala. Kagiso Mohlala, our Fortune 40 trainee in 2015-2018, is our young farmer from Thabachwewu municipality who owns CP Zinjani Cooperative Nalizwa Nalegama. After completing his Fortune 40 training, he joined Forek Institute of Technology during 2019-2021 as an agricultural assistant. He was then further assisted by our government nutrition program with a 10-hectare farm and farming equipment. He now produces potatoes, dry beans, cabbages, and green peppers. He sells mainly to our government nutrition program through our Mkutlu Agri-Help, a facility our government built for the purpose of providing markets to young farmers like him. With your indulgence, Madam Speaker, once again, may I request that Mr. Mohlala to stand up so that we can acknowledge his presence. Sibusiso Mukhale, our young farmer with disability from Bombela. He was supported by our government with a 10-hectare farm at Mara, where he currently uses the smart agricultural boxes in 3 greenhouse tunnels to produce various types of vegetables. He further produces soybeans on 4.5 hectares open field. He supplies Food Lovers and Spa at Plaza and Valencia within Mbombela. With your indulgence, Madam Speaker, may I request Mr. Mukhale just to wave his hand wherever he is. Madam Speaker, on free medical health care, and hospitalization. As a caring government, we have committed ourselves to improving the health care of our people through an effective and efficient healthcare system. This commitment stems from the public gathering of 1955 in Kliptown, where the Congress of the People adopted Umhlahlandlela, the Freedom Charter. Remarkable improvements of the health indicators of our people could not have happened had we not embarked on an extensive and substantial investment into our healthcare system. Madam Speaker, in the previous SOPA, we indicated that we will establish oncology services in the province. We are pleased to report progress as follows. The old rehabilitation building at the Rob Ferreira Hospital was renovated and is now an oncology unit with a total of 12 beds for adults and 2 beds for children to cater for every ill patient requiring admission. Since August 2019, we have recorded an increase in the number of patients who access oncology services in the province from 1,556 to a total of 18,125 by January 2024. From April 2023 to January 2024 alone, a total of 3,844 patients received checkups and 2,133 received chemotherapy. In total, 6,016 patients have received chemotherapy since 2019. These are all patients that ordinarily would have been referred to Steve Biko Academic Hospital in Pretoria for treatment. We have also appointed 2 full-time oncologists, 2 oncology pharmacists, and 5 oncology specialist nurses as key members of the oncology team. A pediatric oncologist has been appointed and will commence work from the 1st of April 2024. In collaboration with the National Department of Health, we will construct a radiation bunker in Rob Ferreira Hospital during the 2024-25 financial year. Madam Speaker, His Excellency President Cyril Ramaphosa has indicated his readiness to promulgate the NHI bill into law. To date, 85 healthcare facilities have been accredited by the Office of Health Standards Compliance, which is a body that has been mandated by law to give accreditation on quality health standards to all our facilities, both public and private. Additionally, 88%, which is 258 of our 292 primary healthcare facilities, have achieved an ideal clinic status. This means that majority of patients will have access to a clinic with good infrastructure, adequate staff, adequate medicine and supplies, good administrative processes, and sufficient adequate bulk supplies. 245 PHC facilities attained platinum and 13 gold status. As the NHI moves closer to becoming law, we have been working hard to prepare our health system for the full implementation of the NHI in 2028. We are certain that our state of readiness will hold us in good stead when the NHI Act is promulgated. Insofar as caring for vulnerable and marginalized groups, our social programs that are geared towards facilitating access to social grants and welfare services to reduce poverty and inequality, protect children and empower women, youth and persons with disabilities are progressing well. The foster care program is one of the programs that is based on the African proverb that says, "It takes a village to raise a child," has made a huge impact in the lives of our children and families. Since the beginning of the 6th administration, we have placed 542 children in foster care. Madam Speaker and fellow citizens, substance abuse has become endemic. negatively impact on the lives of the substance abusers and their close families. We opened our doors and our hearts to more than 1,942 substance abusers who needed our help. We have completed the construction of the Swartfontein and the Nkangala treatment centers. In the days ahead, we will officially hand over the Nkangala treatment center. In the current administration, 7,409 NPOs have been supported to implement programs that are impact-driven and aid our efforts to create a Mpumalanga anchored on morals and social cohesion. Madam Speaker, we have said that doors of learning and culture shall be opened to all. The past 30 years have been characterized by massive investment on education, creating an enabling environment for effective teaching and learning to take place. Research has shown that unless concerted efforts are put on early childhood learning, we could miss out on key growth and development of learners, resulting in future negative outcomes. It is against this backdrop that our government has continuously invested in early childhood development. We have also successfully transferred the ECD functions from the Department of Social Development to the Department of Education. We have successfully supported 1,463 registered early childhood development centers and a total of 59,826 children of 0 to 4 cohort are benefiting from this service. As a result, access to ECD education has increased from 79.9% for the 0 to 4 cohort and is at 94% for the 5 to 6 cohort. Madam Speaker, we take pride in the performance of our learners in exit grades. Grade 3 depicts a significant improvement from 92% in 2019 to 96% in 2023, while grade 6 has shifted from 94% in 2019 to 96% in 2023, and grade 9 improved from 84% in 2019 to 86% in 2023. In the 2023 State of the Province address, I announced that we will be piloting coding and robotics subjects from grade R to 9. That pilot is progressing very well, and 128 schools from grade R to grade 3 and grade 7 are currently doing coding and robotics. Since 2014, the Mpumalanga government's Ephraim Mukhali Bursary Scheme has awarded a total of 7,916 bursaries, and 451 of these have been funded through CETAs to enable our youth to study at universities. Of the 366 that studied in Russia, 80 of them have been placed in various government departments. Through the Funza Lushaga Bursary Scheme, we continue to encourage matriculants to consider teaching as a career. From 2018 to date, the scheme has produced 1,200 educators in our province. The provincial government continues to strengthen the delivery of education in 18 special schools and is supporting them to serve as resource centers. In this regard, the priority activities include providing redress programs to improve access, provision of specialist staff, training of teachers in specialized programs, and provision of assistive technology devices. Currently, 3 new special schools have been built. Madam Speaker, the land for the construction of the proposed school for the deaf and blind has been secured in Emalahleni municipality. Once the school is completed, the 250 deaf learners currently studying in Bukhosibethu full service school and the 200 in other special schools will be relocated to the new school. Since 2022, in its quest to improve learner performance, the provincial government is providing all grade 12 learners and teachers in quintile 1 to 3 schools with tablets and laptops respectively. These devices are loaded with e-content and will be provided this year with an offline application so as to enable access learning even outside the four walls of the classroom without data or connectivity. This government continues to strengthen e-learning in our school. This year, the province will introduce the smart school concept in 8 schools where both teachers and learners will utilize technological devices and thus making schools paperless. On water and sanitation, Madam Speaker, the number of water and sanitation projects that have been implemented and completed through government have brought relief to millions of our people. Over the past 30 years, at least 17 billion rand has been set aside and spent to improve infrastructure for water and sanitation from various grants, which include the Municipal Infrastructure Grant, the Regional Bulk Infrastructure Grant, the Water Service Infrastructure Grant, and an Integrated Urban Development Grant. Madam Speaker, some of the projects that have been successfully completed towards improving provision of water and sanitation service delivery includes but are not limited to the following. The water and sanitation projects completed in Ehlanzeni District Municipality, which have benefited 5,991 households. The water and sanitation projects completed in the Harsibande District Municipality, which have benefited 8,139 households, and the Nkangala District Municipality, which have benefited 13,898 households on water and sanitation. In the current municipal financial year, our municipalities have planned to deliver the following water and sanitation projects. In Ehlanzeni District Municipality, the installation of new raw water pumps in Hazyview and the upgrading of Saidkap bulk supply line. The repair of sewer outfall lines will be installed in Barberton and Kapogweni. There will be a refurbishment of Mkhuhlu water waste treatment works and the completion of phase 2A bulk water supply at NAS. And we are also implementing the 3 copies regional bulk water supply scheme, as well as the reticulation and connection of yard meters at Belfast phase 2 in Bushbuck Ridge, which will benefit 77,768 households. In Harsibande District Municipality, 32,224 households stand to benefit from the upgrading of Pumula outfall sewer pipeline, the construction of sewer reticulation network in Amsterdam, the upgrading of Mpuluzi bulk water supply scheme, the refurbishment of Elukwatini sewer pump station, the refurbishment of Egulindeni water treatment works, and the rehabilitation of Folcrest 2 megaliter reservoir. In Kangala District Municipality, a total of 100,802 households will benefit from the refurbishment and upgrading of phase 2 wastewater treatment works in Delmas. The replacement of asbestos bulk supply line in Hapahla and Siabuswa A, the reduction of non-revenue water in Butleng, the construction of Clarinet and Siangoba phase 2 link and bulk water supply lines, the construction of Matthysensloop into Kwaggafontein booster pump station, and drilling of boreholes in Marapiane and in Dr. J.S. Moroka municipality is underway. In collaboration with the Department of Water and Sanitation, the following projects will be implemented through the Regional Bulk Infrastructure Grant: the upgrading of Falbank water treatment works and construction of reverse osmosis plant in Mtshweni-Tsipane local municipality, where 87,872 households stands to benefit. The upgrading of Fortuna water treatment works in order to reliably supply water in Balfour, Greylangstan, the Grootvlei, which will benefit 12,636 households in the Paliseng local municipality. The construction of water treatment works, bulk pipelines, pump station and reservoirs, which will abstract water from the Ras Defender Dam to supply the areas of Matanjana and Pankop within Dr. J.S. Moroka municipality. The Department of Water and Sanitation has set aside a budget of 454 million rand allocated for the Water Services Infrastructure Grant in the 2024-25 financial year for upgrading of the Standerton wastewater treatment works in Ligwa municipality. The project will benefit 4,790 households. The upgrading of Delmas wastewater treatment works with the pre-treatment system will benefit 9,000 households, as well as the upgrading of water treatment works, construction of bulk pipeline with various reservoirs to benefit 3,537 households in Komazi municipality. Madam Speaker, we are concerned about the manganese contamination in water supply in Emalahleni. We have intervened by deploying 3 civil engineers, 1 environmental engineer, 2 water scientists, and 2 technicians to determine the source of the problem. And we have conducted exploratory tests by taking samples to determine the extent of contamination. As things stand, and in accordance with the results of the tests conducted, the manganese content in the water is below the acceptable minimum levels of 400 units, which is the minimum acceptable in terms of the South African National Standards 241. We will continue to improvise for further modification and upgrading of the water treatment plant. We will also continue to take daily water samples from the plant outlets to determine the quality of water for human consumption. If we find that the readings are above the minimum acceptable standards, we'll immediately notify our communities and intervene accordingly. The regional low-scope bulk scheme is under construction to service the people of Tembisile Hani municipality as an augmentation scheme to add a further 20 megaliters per day in order to meet the demands of communities. Madam Speaker, in enhancing bulk power supply to minimize the impact of municipal load reduction, a 40 MVA substation has been constructed in Mhluzi at Mtshweni-Tsipane. In Govenberg, Sasol has funded the construction of the state-of-the-art 40 MVA substations in Mbalehle Extension 6 and Mbalehle Main Substation. Whilst in Emalahleni, the construction of 40 MVA Duva substation is under construction. Once all these substations are commissioned, they will ease the pressure on the existing infrastructure within our municipalities. Madam Speaker, on disaster management, we want to say that our province was never spared from the catastrophic disasters that tormented our province over the past years. We have officially become prone in inclement weather, which has unfortunately caused the loss of lives, damage of properties, as well as our infrastructure. More than 3 billion rand costs of damages since the beginning of this 6th administration have been suffered, which had to be reported to the national government for financial assistance after disaster declarations were made. To date, tranches of municipal disaster recovery grant have started trickling in, with the first tranche of 104 million already dispersed to our municipalities. Madam Speaker, I must also indicate that inasmuch as the aftermath usually left scars and a trail of catastrophes behind, we were nonetheless able to rapidly respond in order to restore livelihoods and to connect societal functionality through the rehabilitation and of damaged infrastructure. We have improved our readiness strategies in order to mitigate severity of any eventuality. The capacity and capability of our teams in our disaster management centers, both at provincial and district levels have gradually improved to cope with any form of disaster incidents. For this reason, we have extended our horizon by embarking on providing equipment for the firefighter services for the municipalities that are severely undercapacitated and genuinely in need for rescue and firefighting tools. In this current financial year, 5 municipalities received equipped firefighting trucks, which are Tabateu, Lekwa, Nkomazi, Dipaliseng, and Chief Albert Lutuli municipalities. As a caring government, we therefore shall continue to effectively coordinate all preventative risk reduction measures in an attempt to ensure that minimal life-threatening risks are encountered either as a result of natural or human-made occurrences. We have observed that the number of human lives that are lost during such incidents is gradually decreasing, which is testament to effective strategic plans and measures that are now in place to make our province safer to live in. On traditional institution and Ingoma custom practice, Madam Speaker, this government has always been conscious of the dignity of the state of Abondabezita as the recognized institution of our constitutional democracy. We have therefore vowed that no traditional leader in the province shall operate without a proper and dignified administrative office. In restoring the dignity and ensuring infrastructure support to the traditional leadership, the Mpumalanga provincial government has invested on infrastructure through building the 13 traditional councils offices. We have completed the construction on the following offices: the Jongilanga, the Hoshani, the Matibela, the Muhlala Murudi, the Mokane, the Manala Mbongo, the Nzunza Mabusa, Bakhatla Basiabe, the Nzunza Mpungucha, Bakhatla Bammakau, Duma, Somtuba, Pevula, and Matabugela. We continue to draw Amakosi to take part in the advocacy against crime, gender-based violence and femicide, drug abuse by our youngsters, and to instill moral regeneration. Together in partnership with the Department of Justice and Constitutional Development, we have accepted to play a part in the capacity building ventures of all traditional leaders when rolling out the recently proclaimed Traditional Courts Act by His Excellency, the State President, Ubaba Cyril Ramaphosa. Madam Speaker, the Freedom Charter injunction that there shall be security and comfort imposes an obligation for us to decisively deal with the levels of crime in our province, especially crime against women and children. Human trafficking remains our concern, especially between the borders of our province and Mozambique. We call upon the people of this province to work with law enforcement and report any incidents or suspicious activities that occur in the area. We have made some progress in our efforts to end the scourge of gender-based violence. The integrated provincial plan to fight gender-based violence has been developed, is being implemented and monitored. We have adopted the 365 days of activism against gender-based violence so that the potential perpetrators can always be conscious. We have also embarked on numerous advocacy programs targeting the entire province. The rapid response team have been established in the various local municipalities, which will culminate in the launch of the Provincial Gender-Based Violence Council in the months ahead. Data shared by the Ministry of Police have shown that crime in our province happens mostly from Thursday and Sunday. To stem this tide, high-density and multidisciplinary operations are being conducted in the various hotspots of the province through Operation Siyavutha. These have resulted in, amongst others, the confiscation of illegal firearms, weapons, and the incarceration of drivers who are above the legal limit of blood alcohol. Madam Speaker, our province is endowed with various minerals such as vanadium, coal, chrome, and platinum, which contribute significantly to the economy of the country. This has attracted criminal elements who have infiltrated these mines to conduct illegal mining in towns such as Emelo, Emalahleni, Pilgrim Rest, Barberton, Graskop, and Sabi. The South African Police Services, South African National Defence Force, and the Department of Mineral Resources and Energy has intervened to ensure that these criminal activities are halted. And once again, I want to apologize, Madam Speaker. Earlier on, I did not acknowledge the presence of our Provincial Commissioner, Umama Smakalengi. I hope she will forgive me for that. The province has a warm climate and an abundance of tourist attraction points which contribute to stimulating the economy and create jobs. Research has indicated that crime has a potential to drive away tourists. To ensure that this economic sector is protected, tourism safety monitors have been recruited and deployed in the various tourist attraction points of the province. This tourism safety monitors project has benefited 1,824 young people. To inculcate the culture of responsible driving and obeying road traffic regulation to young people in the spirit of Lugotshwa Lusemandi, various road safety programs were implemented benefiting school learners. Competitions were conducted in this regard, and I'm proud that the youth of the province have been able to bring the crown home. I encourage other young people to participate in these competitions. Madam Speaker, we have been diligently assessing various strategies to bolster pivotal crime prevention measures. To this end, and having assessed the unique nature of our challenges, we will be recruiting 1,200 young people in the 2024-25 financial year. We will train them so that they can play a pivotal role in ensuring the safety and security of our communities from the grassroots level. We will collaborate with all stakeholders such as the SANDF, the SAPS, the CPF to develop an operational and legislative framework that will enable us to identify and empower individuals who will be fit for purpose and sufficiently empowered to aid our efforts to reclaim our communities from criminal elements. And again, we will be subjecting them to vetting because we cannot subject to ourselves in a situation where we expect a criminal to go and catch another criminal. Therefore, it would be important that we vet all of them to ensure that there would be seamless flow of those who would be dedicated in making sure that we combat the high levels of crime within our province. Madam Speaker, we are acutely aware of our innate responsibility to be the drivers of societal cohesion and unity. This has informed our decision to align our province with initiatives that promote societal interaction. For example, our province successfully hosted the South African Traditional Music Awards, hosted in Mpumalanga since 2019 until 2021. This award ceremony and the related build-up events afforded the province to market itself as a tourist destination of choice, thereby contributing to the local economy and showcase the diverse cultures of the province, wherein local artists shared the stage with national and international artists. Following the success of the SATMAS, we have also collaborated with the SABC to host the Metro FM Awards since 2023. This collaboration afforded both Metro FM and the province an opportunity to inspire and empower young creatives from across the province with exposure to the fast-growing and upwardly mobile market. The awards are preceded by build-up activities that stand to benefit the whole creative industry and SMMEs, with more than 500 temporary jobs created. In order to redress the imbalances of the past and bring equal opportunities to the people of Mpumalanga in the field of education, we have built 4 new state-of-the-art public libraries in Sakile, Tubelihle, Tulamahashi, and Matsamo. We are on the verge of completing another 3 libraries in Gwamhlanga, Etandukukanya, and Newtown. In addition, 6 mobile libraries have been sourced to increase access to library services across our 3 districts. In 2023, our Rainbow Nation had the unique privilege of hosting 2023 Netball World Cup for the first time. This World Cup has had positive spin-offs that benefited our province. As part of the 2023 Netball World Cup Legacy Project, we have successfully constructed 6 state-of-the-art sports combo courts across 3 districts. This will go a long way to promote social integration that is an important component of social cohesion and give access to sport facilities. Madam Speaker, the province hosted a successful BRICS roadshow, including the 10th BRICS Ministers of Education and Senior Officials gathering and the 8th BRICS Ministers of Culture and Senior Officials gathering. We will continue to support our national government foreign policy that seeks to bring peace and harmony amongst nations. The province always kept and maintained good and cordial relations with its neighbors, the Kingdom of Eswatini and Mozambique. We will continue to forge partnerships that are mutually beneficial and promote friendships and peace amongst our nations. As I conclude, Madam Speaker, we want to say, despite the challenges, the trials and tribulations we have encountered, this ANC-led government has improved the lives of our people, consistent with the commitment we made 30 years ago to provide a better life for all. As the numbers have demonstrated, we have left an undeniable mark in changing the lives of our people for the better. We have honored the commitments we undertook in Kliptown 69 years ago when we adopted the Freedom Charter and committed ourselves to create jobs and gradually alleviate poverty. Madam Speaker, with your indulgence, allow me to once again emphasize the fact that in 1994, our population was a mere 3.3 million people. Today, we are 5.1 million people in Mpumalanga. We inherited a GDP of 46 billion rand in 1994. Today, we have a GDP of more than 530 billion rand, which has seen the province growing its GDP levels 12 times bigger than what it was, and we are now the 4th largest economy in the country. We inherited a workforce of 627,000 people. Now we are growing it to more than 1.25 million employed people in the province. We also inherited the province made up of 64% of people living below the lower bound poverty line. Today, the number has improved to 49.5%. Madam Speaker, within this context, we are proud of our past and confident about what the future has in store for the people of Mpumalanga. This ANC-led government will spare no effort in advancing the plight of the people of the province of the rising sun. We are ready and will continue to diligently tackle the myriad of challenges we face. We shall not betray the collective trust bestowed upon us by the people across the length and breadth of our beautiful province. Failure is not an option. Victory is certain and indeed. The people shall govern. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Premier, for the well-delivered State of the Province address. Honorable members, can you please take your seats? Thank you, Honorable Premier, for the well-delivered State of the Province address. The Honorable Premier and Honorable members, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, you are invited to a luncheon at the marquee next to the exit gate of the Riverside Government Complex. Honorable members and distinguished guests are requested to remain at their places until the procession has left the chamber. That concludes the business for the day. The House is adjourned until Tuesday, the 5th of March 2024 at 10 o'clock in this very same chamber.
All right.
Thatha mshini wakho Ndlovu. Ndlovu thatha mshini wakho. Next after me. Thatha mshini wakho Ndlovu. Ndlovu thatha mshini wakho. Esikhohle kunivalelisa le number kunambe kahle ne Honorable Shongwe. So bonana nabanye after May. Thine solo sinje.